Hi everyone, welcome back to Yoga Around the Astrological Mandala. I just taught at a festival this past weekend. It was really amazing, but we came up with a different name for this yoga that I've been teaching, and it's Cosmic Alignment Yoga, which I'm really into. I really like it. Welcome back to Cosmic Alignment Yoga. We have the new moon in Gemini this Saturday here in California. Um, yeah, so we are almost at the end of Gemini season. For like about a year there, the new moon was at the beginning of each zodiac sign. So I was really loving it because you can practice with the new moon, but then practice it all throughout the season and just feel aligned and bring in the archetypes of the zodiac and what's going on around us in the earth, in the planets, the spiral, and bring that into our bodies. So we're still doing that, but I'm going to figure out a different way to move forward so we're feeling in aligned, and we're hopefully getting about one new practice per month-ish, or month as we like to say. So Gemini is mutable air. Gemini is the most mutable of all the signs, so it's most changeable, and in need of grounding a lot. So that's something that we're going to work on today. So Gemini rules the part of the body that splits into two. So it starts with the bronchial tubes and it rules the lungs. It's an air sign also, so it has a lot to do with the breath. And then it goes out into the shoulders, and down the arms. and so it also has very strong correspondence with the nervous system. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules the nervous system. The nervous system and breath is all about communication. So it's how we communicate with the outside world is through our nerves, and the nerves are running all throughout our entire body. Gemini can have a tendency to have like a very sensitive nervous system and get like nervous system overload. I can speak to that. That has happened to me. And we have to take really good care of our nervous system. And a way that we can do that is through breath. I think we're just going to get right into our meditation here. There's always so much to say about all the signs, but we're just going to drop right in to getting started and tapping into our vagus nerve. So finding a comfortable seat, making sure you have something to support your hips if you need that. If your hip flexors are engaged when you're sitting down, then please sit on a blanket, a pillow, a block, some books, something that's comfortable so that we can let our mind relax, which Gemini can tend to have a really strong mind. It can be challenging to drop out of the mind and into the body, into the heart. And that's exactly what we can do to help balance Gemini to feel really good in our bodies. So closing our eyes and tuning into the breath. As we breathe, we're in constant exchange with the world around us. And as we breathe, we ground the mind into our body. I was reading the other day and I just found this little quote that I'd like to share with you guys. So as you're breathing, just listening to my words and paying attention to your breath. Breath is the medium through which mind, consciousness, and the body are linked. Ancient yogis believed that the breath was the bridge, the means of communication between the mind and body. It inspires from in spiritu. Spirit links the mind and body. When you are full of life, you are inspired. When breath has left the body, you are expired. So today, as we flow through our practice, I would like our group intention to be just focus mind on breath. So anytime the mind wavers, just always coming back to breath, always coming back to the present moment, always coming back to this inspiration. And as you're breathing, bring your mind's eye to the base of your skull, where your spinal cord starts to come down, your brainstem, right there, the base at the back of your neck. And here begins one of the really important nerves in the body called the vagus nerve. It runs all the way down the spine. And it sends its little tendrils out into different organs of our body. And it's highly responsible for our rest and digest state, our parasympathetic state of our nervous system. So as you breathe, bring your awareness out from the vagus nerve, inhaling it into the lungs. And in the pattern of your own breath, exhale back, settling in the spinal cord. Again, inhaling into the heart. Exhale back to the spine. Moving down, inhaling into the stomach. Exhale back into the spine, the vagus nerve. Inhaling into the small intestine. And exhaling back to the spine. Inhale once more to the large intestine. And exhale back. Continuing the breath, just becoming more familiar and tuned in to what's happening within our bodies. And when you're ready, bring the arms out to the floor beside you. As you inhale, lift the arms above the head. Slowly trying to use the whole inhale to lift the arms, gently opening the eyes. On the exhale, Again, inhaling up. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling. And when you're ready, let's move to hands and knees. It's a bit windy out here, so I apologize if the wind is picking up on the microphone in advance. Hopefully it's just picking up more on the nature sounds in my voice. But coming to hands and knees, hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. We'll start with cat-cow, so moving from the base of the sternum. Inhale, dropping the base of the sternum, lifting head and hips. Exhale, lifting base of sternum, dropping head and hips. Continuing, moving with your breath. Linking breath with movement. So if you ever get confused, you're like, oh, should I be breathing in or out during this posture? The rule of thumb through all the asanas is you're inhaling, you're expanding the place where your breath's coming in, so your lungs. And then as you're exhaling, you're making that place smaller. So we're inhaling and exhaling. Continuing, cat-cow. And coming back to neutral. On your exhale, Chakravakasana. So staying with your knees and hands where they're at. Exhale, sending the hips back, slowly rounding the vertebrae, one vertebrae at a time. Pushing through the hands, the arms are extending. Hips come almost to heels. And then you bend elbows, pull through hands, unfurl spine to a neutral position. Continuing, let's do 4 more. Exhaling back. Flip the toes for downward dog. I like to bend my elbows out to the sides, pull them around in the eyes of the elbows. The creases of the elbows are facing forward. Lift hips back, exhaling. Breathing here, filling up the lungs, widening the upper back, the heart area. And as you exhale, walking feet forward, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way to standing. And exhale, hands at heart center. We're just going to go through one sun salutation. I realize that my computer is like a little low here. Let me lift this up. There we go. Okay. So one sun salutation, hands at heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming back, plank. And exhale, chaturanga, elbows stay in at the sides, coming all the way down to the belly. Tops of the feet come onto the earth. Inhale, lifting up, cobra pose. Extending as if the spine was coming through the top of your head. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, up through plank or hands and knees. And then exhale, downward dog. Noticing how your breath feels in your body here. Are there any places where it feels stuck? Is it flowing? Exhale, walking feet to meet hands. And then inhale, coming up, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pushing through the feet, arms come wide. Exhale, hands at heart center. Let's open up to the long edge of our mat. Coming into your 3/4 of your widest stance, like so 3/4 of what your widest stance would be. Turning your right foot out forward. Your right heel is in the middle of your left foot. And then inhaling, arms come out. We're coming into triangle pose. Triangle pose is toning to the spinal nerves, so that's why we have it in our Gemini practice. As you inhale, extend arms, extend spine. Exhale, reaching forward over your right foot and then hinging at the hips. Gazing up to the sky. And on your next inhale, coming back up. So keeping your hands where they're at. And then the next time we go down to triangle, something to remember is that you want to try to keep your body in the same plane. So just being mindful, like if you're moving forward, back, or if your hips are jutting out one way or the other, we want to be like, we were like in between two, I don't know, planes of glass or something, but however you want to envision it. Inhaling, arms out. Exhale, reaching forward and hinging at the hips. Breathing. Inhaling, arms come up and upper body comes up. And when you're ready, exhaling, reaching out and coming into triangle one more time. We're coming into triangle like this dynamically because it's like oil for the nervous system is how one of my teachers explained it. Coming in to a pose multiple times. It's like neuromuscular re-education. So that's what you do when you practice something, you know, you're practicing so you get used to it. So we're teaching our nervous system and our bodies like how to move in this particular way. So continuing your breath. And inhaling, coming up. You can exhale, arms down. Bring right foot forward and left foot turns out. So switching, triangle on the opposite side. Inhale, arms coming out. Exhale, reaching forward and hinging at the hips. Hand is coming to like your shin, the inside of your ankle, the back of your hand can be like pressing on your ankle, but you just want to avoid like putting any extra weight on your knee. So you could also come to right above your knee too. Inhale, coming up, and exhale. Next exhale, reaching forward and hinge. Inhale, coming up. Breath at the top. And exhale, coming into Trikonasana one last time. Gaze is at the sky, if possible. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, arms come down. Let's bring our toes forward and maybe even just slightly in. For our wide-legged forward fold, hands are coming to hips. Reaching up through the perineum here at the middle of the very base of the torso. Reaching up the spine, coming all the way up the top of the head. As you exhale, forward fold. Same thing, being mindful if you're jutting your hips out or you want them to be in the same plane as your feet. Hands can come to the mat or to the outsides of the feet, the ankles. And as you inhale, straighten the arms, bring the arms in front of you if they're not, or just like to the earth in front of you. If you want to have them on a block or raise, that's a really good choice too, but you want to be touching something, a block or a stack of books. And let's bring right hand to the sacrum, the downward facing triangular bone at the base of the spine. As you inhale, lengthen spine. As you exhale, twist, opening to the right side, keeping the sacrum level. And if you want, you can extend right arm into the air. You can even try to extend your twist all the way into your eyes. So bringing your eyes all the way to the right side of their sockets. And mind on breath. On your inhale, unwinding. Take a breath at the bottom. And left hand onto sacrum now. On your exhale, twisting to the opposite side. So really being mindful that your sacrum is level here. Your twist is just in your spine, not in your hips. Bringing twist into your gaze on this side as well. And inhaling to unwind. Exhale, coming down for forward fold again. Bringing hands back to hips, bending knees slightly. Inhale halfway. Take a breath here. And inhale all the way. You can heel toe feet together. And we're going to move down to our mat. This is our mini yoga practice, so it's moving quick. But hopefully you're feeling mellow, feeling your nervous system be grounded. So if you have a blanket, I love to do this pose with a blanket for many reasons. It helps give more space for our back bend, and then also it helps with any pain you might experience, like with your pubic bone connecting with the earth or something. So if you're using a blanket, you wear it like a shirt, so the blanket's at the very base of your pubic bone and it comes up. And let's come all the way to our bellies. Forehead comes onto the earth. Tops of the feet are on the earth. And we're going to start with left arm, palm face up at the hips. And we're going to start with right arm out in front of us. So finding your breath. And as you inhale, inhale right arm, left leg, head, and chest. Breathe in your belly. And exhale, coming down. You can bring both hands, palms face up, and one ear to the mat. Palms face up at your hips. Bringing forehead back to center, and this time bringing your left arm out in front. On your inhale, left arm, right leg, head and chest. Inhaling up. And exhale, coming down, opposite ear to the mat, palms face up at the hip. And this time, bringing head back to center. Let's bring both arms out in front of us. And our feet are trying to come as close together as possible. So just being really gentle with yourself in this posture as well. And listening to your body. If you need to come out, then come out. And if you just need to lay here while we do it, then just do that. But if you'd like to try it, you can inhale, lift both legs, both arms, head and chest. Trying to keep feet together. Breathing. And whenever you're ready, exhale, coming down. And you can actually Bring your hands under your shoulders and push up, coming all the way to child's pose. So if you can, do knees together for this. We just did a really strong back bend, so that's going to give you a better counter pose if you have your knees together. But if it just doesn't give you enough space, then you can definitely have your knees apart, and then bringing your head down to the mat or bringing your head to a block or a blanket, having your forehead connected to something. And then if your knees are together, bring your palms face up at your hips. So remembering your breath. If you can hear the wind on your end of the computer, just letting that remind you to keep breathing. And notice where your body is feeling relaxed here in child's pose. Notice if you're feeling any tension. Gemini can hold on to tension a lot in the body. One of the tissue states that's highly associated with Gemini is wind tension. So noticing if this is at any place in your body, and then consciously using your breath to relax all the parts of your body even more. And whenever you're ready, inhaling to come up. And we're going to move all the way down to our backs. Let's bring knees into chest. And bring your hands onto your knees with your fingers facing toes. So your hands are going to stay on your knees in this exact position the whole time. And with your breath, inhale, knees come away from you, elbows straighten. As you exhale, knees come in to chest, elbows bend. So this is Apanasana. It's called wind release pose. Exhaling, knees come in. One more time. You can give yourself a little hug. Dropping the mind and the breath down into the body, into the heart. And we'll do a short Shavasana and then a short breathing exercise after Shavasana. I really encourage you to stay for the whole time. Coming into corpse pose to full relaxation pose. So your feet are just a little bit wider than your hips and your hands are wider than your shoulders. Palms are face up. Let your body sink into the earth, fully connected to the earth. This is another thing we can do if we are finding ourselves like super Gemini vibes, very, in our mind or all over the place, just coming out and laying on the earth. Letting the mind relax as well. And practicing non-attachment, just noticing any thoughts that might happen and letting them go. And when you're ready, wiggling the fingers and toes, you can inhale, arms overhead. Take a deep breath in. And turning to your right side in the fetal position. And making your way up to seated. We're coming from corpse pose into the fetal position to be reborn. So we're being reborn into this now moment. So we're showing up in the present. Our breath is also keeping us in the present. We'll do 6 cycles of the Nadi Shodhana breath. This is a really short practice. So if you want to drop into a longer practice with me, come join Patreon, and we'll get into it much longer and more deeply there. But for the Nadi Shodhana breath, bring your dominant hand up, and then you're going to fold in your pointer finger and your middle finger. So you're going to use your thumb and your ring finger. And they're going to come to the bridge of your nose to start with. And then inhale through both nostrils and exhale. And then you're going to come down. You're going to close right nostril, inhale through left. Switch fingers, exhale through right. Inhale right. Switch fingers and exhale left. So continuing like that, inhaling left. Switch fingers, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch fingers and exhale left. So 4 more breaths. Finishing your breathing cycle on an exhale through the left nostril. You can release your hands when you're finished. And then bringing hands to Anjali Mudra at heart center. My prayer is that we all have a beautiful Gemini new moon, in that we're tuned in to our breath, that we feel grounded and relaxed in our nervous system, and that we feel like we have the tools to navigate whatever life and the cosmos has in store for us. The light in me bows and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for practice. Like I said, I do longer yoga practices and more in-depth over on Patreon. So I'd love if you would join me there. I also love to hear what your practice is like. I would love if you commented. And I want to get to know you. I want to tune in with you for your practice. I'm considering starting a live online class soon. So if anyone's interested, maybe comment, I'm interested, and we'll be in touch.